Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill. Best Remarkable Underlines. Chapter 4, Autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind, the third step to riches. Autosuggestion is a term that applies to all suggestions and all self-administered stimuli that reach one's mind through the five senses. Stated in another way, autosuggestion is self-suggestion. It is the agency of communication between that part of the mind where conscious thought takes place, and that which serves as the seat of action for the subconscious mind. Through the dominating thoughts one permits to remain in the conscious mind, whether these thoughts be negative or positive is immaterial. The principle of autosuggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. No thought, whether it is negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion, with the exception of thoughts picked up from the ether. Stated differently, all sense impressions which are perceived through the five senses are stopped by the conscious thinking mind, and may be either passed on to the subconscious mind or rejected at will. The conscious faculty serves, therefore, as an outer guard to the approach of the subconscious. Recall what has been said about the subconscious mind resembling a fertile garden spot in which weeds will grow in abundance if the seeds of more desirable crops are not sown there. Autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed the subconscious mind thoughts of a creative nature or, by neglect, permit thoughts of a destructive nature to find their way into this rich garden of the mind. Remember, therefore, when reading aloud the statement of your desire, through which you are endeavoring to develop a money consciousness, that the mere reading of the words is of no consequence unless you mix emotion, or feeling, with your words. If you repeat 1,000,000 times the famous Emile Coué formula, day by day, in every way, I am getting better and better, without mixing emotion and faith with your words, you will experience no desirable results. Your subconscious mind recognizes and acts only upon thoughts that have been well mixed with emotion or feeling. This is a fact of such importance as to warrant repetition in practically every chapter. The lack of understanding of this is the main reason the majority of people who try to apply the principle of autosuggestion get no desirable results. Wisdom and cleverness alone will not attract and retain money except in a few very rare instances where the law of averages favors the attraction of money through these sources. The method of attracting money described here does not depend upon the law of averages. Moreover, the method plays no favorites. It will work for one person as effectively as it will for another. Where failure is experienced, it is the individual, not the method, which has failed. If you try and fail, make another effort, and still another, until you succeed. Here is a most significant fact: the subconscious mind takes any orders given it in a spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders, although the orders often have to be presented over and over again, through repetition, before they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. Consider the possibility of playing a perfectly legitimate trick on your subconscious mind by making it believe, because you believe it, that you must have the amount of money you are visualizing, that this money is already awaiting your claim, that the subconscious mind must hand over to you practical plans for acquiring the money which is yours. Hand over this thought to your imagination, and see what your imagination can, or will, do to create practical plans for the accumulation of money through transmutation of your desire. Do not wait for a definite plan through which you intend to exchange services or merchandise in return for the money you are visualizing. Begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and accepting meanwhile that your subconscious mind will hand over the plan, or plans, you need. Be on the alert for these plans, and when they appear, put them into action immediately. They will probably flash into your mind through the six senses, in the form of an inspiration. This inspiration may be considered a direct message from infinite intelligence. Treat it with respect, and act upon it as soon as you receive it. Failure to do this will be fodder to your success. When visualizing the money you intend to accumulate with closed eyes, see yourself rendering the service, or delivering the merchandise you intend to give in return for this money. This is important. Many philosophers have made the statement that people have control over their own earthly destinies, but most of them have failed to say why this is. The reason why one may control one's own earthly status, and especially one's financial status, is thoroughly explained in this chapter. People may gain control of themselves and their environment because they have the power to influence their own subconscious minds, and through it gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence. You are now reading the chapter that represents the keystone to the arch of this philosophy. The instructions contained in this chapter must be understood and applied with persistence if you are to succeed in transmuting desire into money. After you have read the entire book, come back to this chapter, and follow in spirit, and in action, this instruction. Read the entire chapter aloud once every night, until you become thoroughly convinced that the principle of autosuggestion is sound, that it will accomplish for you all that has been claimed for it. As you read, underscore with a pencil every sentence that impresses you favorably. Be Bold Harmony wants to thank you for watching. Like or share if you enjoy the video. And subscribe if you want us to notify you whenever we publish the new post.